Just imagine you're moving to a new area and you're sitting down with your realtor, going over your needs and wants. You're doing what's called a buyer consultation with your realtor. You're talking about how many bedrooms and bathrooms and garage spaces and acreage that you're looking for in your new home. And your realtor asks you, what style of home are you looking for? And you tell them, hey, we're looking for a Rambler style house. Your realtor has a puzzled look on their face. They're like, you're looking for a car? My friend, that happened to me one of my first buyer consultations about 11 years ago. And they're like, Anthony, you don't know what a Rambler style house is. And I'm like, I gotta be honest with you, I have no idea what that means. They said, it's a single story home. And I said, oh, that's called a ranch style. They're like, no. We're not looking for a ranch. We don't want cows and acreage and all that. And I said, no, my friend, I think we're talking about the same thing. Where I come from in Michigan, we call those a ranch style house. And so, of course, we were talking about the same thing, but this is important for you to know as you're looking to move to Northwest Arkansas. You're finding out today what different styles, types, sizes, shapes of homes that we have here that you can expect when we're going around and we're looking for homes together. I'm going to dig into, of course, different home styles, types, foundation styles, and types. You'd be shocked to know, if you didn't already, that there is a certain foundation type that we don't have here in Tornado Alley that you would think we would have here, but more on that later in the video. I'm also going to talk a little bit about new construction versus existing. This isn't a market update, but it's going to give you an understanding of what is available here in Northwest Arkansas when the time comes for us to look at homes for you. Home styles and types. Let's talk about that for a minute. What I mean by home style is Queen Victorian, neoclassical. Are we talking French colonial? Are we talking craftsman? When you're looking for homes here in Northwest Arkansas, you need to understand that there has been a lot of growth in our area in the last 20 to 30 years. What that means is a housing style like a Queen Victorian style home, you might find one of those in downtown Bentonville that was built in the late 1800s, or maybe in downtown Fayetteville, because when the towns first started, that was a very popular type of home for the well-to-do families during that era. We don't have that type of construction going on these days here in Northwest Arkansas. That's why I want to make sure we cover this for you to have a bit more understanding as to what to expect here. So no Queen Anne, no salt box style that you might see on the East Coast. You may even catch a Tudor style home. Very rare here. What we do have is we do have a lot of bungalows. We do have a lot of ranch or Rambler style houses to where it's just on one level. Folks out in California might call it a California ranch, where it's a one level that is in the shape of an L, but just all on one level. We also have colonial and craftsman style houses here as well. Now, colonial isn't something that we see very much of, but it's something that you might see. What is being built out on the edges of town is going to be more your modern farmhouse style of home. You might even catch a random A-frame house in Bella Vista or out by the lake in Rogers, or even downtown Bentonville as well. A-frame style is here, but not as often as you might think. Of course, modern construction style houses as well. Now, those are different home styles. Let's talk about different home types. What I mean by types are single family, condo, modular, mobile home. Those are different home types. I went ahead and broke it down for you, and I looked at Benton and Washington County. In Benton County this last year, there were 6,327 homes that sold in 2023. 273 of those homes were some type of condo or townhome, mobile home, maybe even a modular home. 6,054 homes that are a traditional single family house. In Washington County, there were 3,476 total homes, and 3,308 of those were single family. So the rest of, again, that small percentage, that small number of homes were a modular, mobile, condo, or townhome style type of property. Why is there so little of that? I would happen to believe with Walmart, Tyson, JB Hunt, even the university moving so many people to the area, college housing, what have you, people needing a starter home, if you will, or a single family home would be a very common house type. Single story, 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage. Now, we definitely have other homes that are being built. Actually, the typical home that you're going to find in Benton and Washington County is probably going to have between 3 or 4 bedrooms, 2 or 3 bathrooms, and probably 2 or 3 car garages. Again, depending on your price point and depending on foundation depending on the school district and all those different types of factors. I don't do a lot of mobile or modular homes. That's just really not the business that I go after, but I will let you know that a mobile home is a structure that is trailered into a property and maybe set on a semi-permanent foundation. And typically a mobile home also has a title to it that when the property is sold, that title needs to be transferred into the new owner's name. Also, depending on what type of financing you're going for, this is a whole nother video, my friend. Modular home is a structure that's brought in and set on a permanent foundation. That's kind of the little caveat between those two. But again, based on the numbers that I just shared with you, we don't have a whole lot of condo, townhome, mobile, or modular homes in Benton or Washington County. Here in this chart, you'll see that the percentage of homes that are single family versus the other styles is massive. Single family home is basically what we're going to find here in Northwest Arkansas. Not that you can't find a condo or a townhome, they're just fewer and far between. Another type of home that we don't see here too often is a split level type of single family home. So now we're really getting down into, we've kind of pushed away the modular and mobile homes as well as the condos and townhomes. But as far as a split level single family home, we don't see those as often. And now, my friend, what that means is you're walking into the front door and right away you're on a landing that's maybe 5 by 8 and you have to decide, are you going up or are you going down after you take your shoes off, depending on where you are, if that's custom from where you come from. Or there's maybe a 3-level split where you walk into a living room kitchen area, then you have to go up to the bedrooms or down into the basement area. That would be a 3-level split. And then there's also 4-level splits that we don't have those here as well. What we typically find is going to be a slab on grade, single story or a 2-story level home. Of course, there's also duplexes, apartment buildings, triplexes that are available here in Northwest Arkansas as well. Some homes, you might call it a twin home. We call them an attached home. We don't have twin homes here, where you have one home with a common wall owned by different people. There's a couple neighborhoods that are like that, but they're not called twin homes. So it's again, that vernacular piece that we need to understand as we're looking at homes together. Onward to foundation types. Now, there are different types of foundations that you're going to find all over the United States, all over the world. Here in Northwest Arkansas, because we're more of a humid and wet type climate, we also have varying degrees of different rocks that are underneath the ground. You would be shocked to know that here in Tornado Alley, there aren't any basements here. And I say there aren't, they're just fewer and far between, much like condos and townhomes. In fact, let's go back to our numbers that we spoke about earlier. Of the 6,327 homes that sold last year in Benton County, only 556 homes had a basement. You want to go down even further? If you're looking for a new construction home, there were only 52 homes in Benton County that sold last year that had a basement and that were new construction. In Washington County, as mentioned, there were 3,476 homes sold. 3,308 of those were single family style homes. Only 142 of the 3,308 homes that sold in Washington County last year had a basement. Do you want to guess how many new construction homes sold that with a basement in Washington County last year? 3. There were 3 of those that fit. So needless to say, we don't have homes with basements here in Northwest Arkansas. Yes, again, you can find them, but for all intents and purposes, not something that's very common here. So we just don't build them here. And a lot of the reason why, my friend, again, is the soil that we have here. You might run into some type of stone or rock that you might have to have some type of dynamite to explode that out in order to fully build a basement for you. Also, what's contributing to no basements here is the additional cost. A foundation built slab on grade versus a foundation built with a basement is almost double the cost. So combine the cost, the type of soil, how wet the ground can be, we've just decided apparently we're not building houses with basements here. Now again, you can find them, especially maybe up in Bella Vista, out by the lake, down in Fayetteville, to where your topography behind the house has some more fall. So you might have a home that has a walkout basement. We don't see the lookout basements that you might see up in the upper Midwest. You might be asking yourself, Anthony, with living in Tornado Alley and there being no basements, where do you go during the tornado? Well, I, for one, my family, we know that we're going to go underneath our stairway in a hall closet. Or we've got other areas in the home that we can go that are not an outside wall. The thing I have to caution you is, my friend, back in the day when I was a kid, we would at least hear on the radio when a tornado was coming, whereas today we got cell phones, TV, newscasters that are going to let us know well in advance if there's severe weather heading our way, and of course, we can prepare a lot more in advance. Many people around here, instead of having a basement, they might pour a concrete storm shelter or might do an aftermarket storm shelter. I've seen people dig a hole in their concrete floor in their garage and put a metal cover over the top so they can go down in there. Now, I personally wouldn't like that style myself, because what if the house lands on that, then you can't get out? What if, right? What if situations all over the place? If you're concerned about tornadoes and you're looking to move to Northwest Arkansas, it's my understanding that in Bella Vista history, there's never been a tornado recorded whatsoever. The three main foundation types that we have here are slab on grade, crawl space, and basements. With those different foundation types, you're also going to see different types of material that's used for the foundation. Now, granted, slab on grade is going to be a solid slab, what's called a monolithic slab. They'll dig a footing and they'll pour the slab down into the footing as well. So it's all one solid piece of concrete. Of course, they're going to cut expansion joints where engineered as well. Another different foundation type, again, would be slab on grade, to where they use a CMU or a block wall. They'll build the stem wall to where it's level all the way around where your ground might be unlevel, and then they'll start framing on top of that. Another common construction style is pouring concrete walls. Some people call it precast in the commercial world. So pouring up frames, you've got concrete frames that go around and outline the foundation of your home. They'll pour that concrete and then strip the frames off later and do their insulating, and of course put up their rebar and certain bolts and whatever the engineer is calling for in that type of foundation style. Some of those might just be that way and get backfilled with dirt, or depending on where you are, maybe again up in Bella Vista, they might do a poured concrete wall and leave it as a really tall, deep crawl space. There are some crawl spaces in Bella Vista, you would think, man, you could put a whole nother floor down here. And some people do. In a growing market, we also have a lot of new construction homes. I believe my market update from Q4 of 2023, 45% of the homes that closed in Q3 of 2023 were new construction. We have national builders in D.R. Horton. We have regional builders here that are mostly in Northwest Arkansas and Southwest Missouri, maybe even to Texas a little bit. We also have local custom and semi-custom builders as well. So if you're looking to buy land here in Northwest Arkansas and build, there's multiple different options that you can go with, but pairing up with a reputable builder, I would love the opportunity to help you find them as well. A couple things that come to mind when I talk about housing styles and housing types, and things are a little bit different in different parts of the country, is maybe you're wanting to build a container home. Why you would want to do that, I have no idea, but maybe that's kitschy cool. That's something you've been wanting to do. I think I've seen maybe 2 container homes in Northwest Arkansas, maybe 3. So either they're not allowed or people are realizing that that's not going to work well for them. Something you would also be interested to know is the homes that my family have had in Kansas City, in Minnesota, is the primary bedrooms were all on the second floor, on the second story of the home. Whereas if you're looking for a home that has a primary bedroom on the second floor, you're going to be hard pressed to find that, my friend. It's possible, but much like a house with a basement in Northwest Arkansas. Not to belabor the point, but most, if not all of the homes that we're going to look at together, is the primary bedroom is going to be on the main floor. Other types of property features that you might not find here in Northwest Arkansas is a casita. Now, a casita, depending on where you come from in the country, is, that little house in the back that you can either rent out, or maybe your adult child or maybe a relative can live there in the casita, or some other parts of the country might call it an ADU, an accessory dwelling unit, that is also available on the property. Now, we might have something like that, but it's more likely going to be maybe a apartment style that's in a detached garage up above on the second floor. That's very uncommon, but you might be able to find something like that, and many municipalities might be open to allowing you to build or add something like that onto your property. Price ranges of homes. We're going to see homes that have sold that are mobile homes anywhere from $25,000, and then we're going to see some very nicely sized 10,000 square feet on multiple acres sell for $3 or $4 million. Maybe it's on the lake for $8 million. So we've got quite a range of properties, quite a few styles and sizes, but for the most part, my friend, 4-bed, 3-bath, 22 to 2,800 square feet, slab on grade is what you're going to see in Northwest Arkansas, with varying different types of styles and layouts, of course, with different builders and price points. But my friend, thank you always for watching. Now you know a little bit more about what life is like in and around Bentonville.